Alright, so please forgive me. I'm kind of unprepared going into this recording. As of starting this recording, I haven't quite thought out what I want to say. Although I do know I want this video to primarily be sort of predictions. So, like I said, my mind has not quite been on predicting the ending for this silly little show. The last couple of videos now, I said that I might, do this. So now we're here doing it. So, first things first, Kane is gone. Now, I don't believe they'll bring Kane back. I think that would be a little... I can't even think of the word right now. They won't bring Kane back. It'd be a little too easy. I don't know. I think Kane's gone for good. He had a great run. Loved him as a character. He was beautiful, amazing, wonderful. But he's not coming back for the final episode. The only amount of Kane we're going to see in the final episode is the characters saying his name. Speaking of characters who aren't going to show up in the final episode, I highly, highly, highly doubt that Ribbit, Kaufmo, or Queenie will show up as their unabstracted forms in the final episode. Now, here's the deal. They could show up as their abstracted forms. Now, with Kane gone, we know that Kane was like kind of the holder of the cellar, right? He opened the cellar and he closed the cellar. With Kane gone, is that cellar now open? Does that cellar lead to the void, or are the abstracted people inside of that cellar now free to roam the circus as they please? If they are free to roam the circus as they please, there's a really good chance that we're going to see Kaufmo, Ribbit, and or Queenie just in their abstracted forms. But I don't think that Ribbit and Kaufmo will show up as their unabstracted forms. I think that we were being teased about them. We know about them, people. I highly doubt that Ribbit and Kaufman are gonna show up. It's like I don't know. There's something like that's called something. I'm sure. Pictures of the character, references of the character, mentions of the character. The character itself doesn't show up. What is that called? Someone comment that down below. I know that. I'm sure there's a word for that. And in the same vein as abstractions, I wholeheartedly believe that one of our main characters will abstract. Who's gonna abstract, though? That's the million-dollar question right there. Who is it gonna be? Who's gonna abstract? Great question. There's lots of evidence pointing to Jax, but I think there's a great chance that it's someone we wouldn't expect. Someone who doesn't have a lot of evidence pointing towards their abstraction. So for me, the evidence that I've seen, there's not a whole lot of evidence pointing towards a Gangle's abstraction. There's not a whole lot of evidence pointing towards Pomni's abstraction. There isn't a whole lot of evidence pointing towards Zubal's abstraction either. And, this kind of leads back to the teaser pictures for episode 8, where Ragatha, Jackson, King were on one side and Pomni, Gangle, Zubal were on the other. And even after episode 8, I think that kind of is accurate for who might abstract and who won't abstract. Now, in that episode 8 teaser, I wanted to switch Zubal and Ragatha because of Kane. But now with Kane gone, I think there's just as good of a chance as Ragatha abstracting as Jax abstracting, if that makes any sense. But, the people over there are little tricksters. So it could very well be someone who we won't expect. It would just be bizarre and shocking because I don't see why. Poor Jax. Jax is probably going to get close to abstraction again, though. He's probably going to have a panic attack, or he might do a whole 180 and be friends with everyone. He started to realize that all of this is real, but he's realizing way too late, where now everything is broken down. There's nothing left for them except to live or escape or whatever they need to do to survive. But it's only now that he's realizing that this is real. He should have started realizing this is real way back in the day, because then he would have time to adjust to the whole environment. But now they're starting to think this is real right as the whole thing's falling apart. Not a good sign. So I think Jax will definitely pull out another panic attack, maybe another abstraction tease. Who knows? He might be the one to fully abstract in the last episode. There's really only two options I see the show taking from here, and one of those options is much more likely than the other in my mind. First option, and the better option, everyone lives happily ever after. They might panic at first, but then start to realize, wait, we have manifestation powers, and then they'll start to build a whole new circus, one that any human who joins after them will be able to love and enjoy and not abstract. Maybe they'll even fix the abstraction problem where nobody will abstract ever again. Most likely scenario, this show will end off on a bittersweet note. Someone will leave, someone will die, but the rest will accept it. We'll be like, yeah, he's dead, it's sad, but we're gonna accept it, right? Maybe something like that. Out of any piece of media that I've ever watched, bittersweet endings get me the most. In fact, little plug here, actually, a lot of people watching this might even know what I'm talking about. Assassination Classroom is the only piece of media ever that has made me bawl my fucking eyes out so hard for tens of minutes. For tens of minutes. There's been a few pieces of media over the years that has made me tear up or maybe get that lump in my throat. The ending of Assassination Classroom really fucking got me. me. So if the digital circus ends in a way like that, it'll be over for me. You know, also with Kane gone, the censor's gone too. And although it is all of our headcanons that Zooble and Gangle can now have sex, it has been explicitly stated that there is no romantical relationships in the show. So, although I believe in the Yuri, that won't actually happen. But swearing, they set that up. I mean, they set that up big time. They're gonna swear in the last episode, uncensored, bro. Like I said in my prediction for episode 8, shenanigans and tomfoolery will potentially ensue, and then by the end of the episode, you know, it'll be an end. The end. You know, I figured the last few videos I didn't have an outro because this is my second channel, but might as well just do the same outro as my main. So here goes nothing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.